Thank you, Jody. And again, we want to thank everybody for being here. And we're going to kick this off. We got a number of things we have going on here. We got some inspiration. We got a lot of information for you guys as well in this new challenge that we need to put forward and we have to become successful at. Let me kick this off by putting forward one of our illustrious leaders and talk about fun and games and excitement. Mark Lyon, why don't you give us your words of wisdom that you have?
Words of wisdom. Oh my
This
God.
may take a while.
Well, and this could take a while. Wow, wow, wow. We're looking at a new initiative here, the 100 Club Challenge, and we want to make sure that everybody understands that this is something we can do. There's no when it comes to the new club challenge. We just need to accept this as something that is fun to do, that we want to do, and that we really need to do to grow lions in the USA. We're going to make this happen. It's going to be a great endeavor, and we're going to have a lot of fun making this thing happen.
Thank you, Mark. So greatly appreciated. We cannot wait to follow up on and watching your leadership over the last number of years, and as you build up into this as well, it's going to be awesome, and that is absolutely a fact. How about Pat Vannett? Pat Vannett, you got some great words for us. You have. I want to start by saying thank you, Pat. You have absolutely put in the time, the effort, the energy, the momentum, the excitement into as our CA1 constitutional area. Let us have it.
Hi, everyone. Thank you all for being here and being a part of the 100 Club Challenge. We know for sure that when we put a lot of clubs in early in the year, we're going to get the momentum going. And this is the year we're going to be positive and we're going to blow the socks off, blow the numbers out of the water. When we are consistent, 100 clubs, first quarter is going to be amazing. I just want to congratulate everybody. We're at 93 clubs this year. Imagine that. If we can do 50 clubs a quarter, we're going to double. What do you think, Brian? We
Yeah,
have done.
Brian's muted.
Oh, shoot.
He looks so excited.
I was so excited. I said, yes, we're going to do it. This is going to be the year. I'm going to try and keep myself under wraps, but I just can't because I'm excited because we see the potential of what's going to happen out there and what we can do. So I want to say hello to everybody and thank you so much for being here to learn more, share your thoughts about this 100 club, and I want to see it in 100 days. That's going to be our challenge. We are going to have an awesome night tonight. So, Lions, who's fired up? Put it in the chat if you're fired up. We're going to do this. We need you. We need you. Lions USA and Lions of Constitutional Area 1, are you with us to help make a difference? Do you agree we need to take back the power of the US and we have to grow? Now, listen, I want you to take a deep breath. Come on, everybody, take a deep breath. Oh, I feel so much better. Feel that energy? Feel that? I can feel the energy just coming through my screen because this isn't just another meeting. No way. This right here, this is like a launch pad. This is going to be the start of something great. This is mission control for one of the boldest initiatives we have ever seen in CA1. We have not done this before. So welcome to the kickoff of something that's going to be incredible. It's a challenge. It's a movement. It's a full-blown call to arms. 100 new clubs in 100 days of the new year. That's right. 100 clubs, 100 days. Am I skeptical about this? Absolutely. We've never come close to that before. But is that a reason not to do it? Is that a reason not to try? No. And you are the reasons we're going to make this happen. You're not here by accident. You were chosen to be here. You were invited to be to this meeting. You're either built clubs before or you've got the fire and the vision and the guts and the love to be able to do it now. So you are the difference makers. You are the spark pluggers. Is that a word, spark pluggers? Well, you're the spark pluggers because we have so many of them. The ones who don't just dream it, you do it. You are our action junkies. So you're going to make it happen. And that, let's be honest for a second. We haven't exactly been known for fast starts here in the United States. In fact, this year we did 18. Year before that was 16. Year before that was 16. And that's a fact. But if we're going to turn this ship around, if we're going to get CA1 back into the positive, it's got to start different. It's got to start strong. It's got to start now. This year, it's not about waiting for momentum. We are going to be the momentum. You are going to be the momentum. You're going to be throwing out that old playbook. No more doing the same old thing that we've done for the last 40 years and expecting different things. Not this year. We're going to change. We're going to make a difference. You know, one of my favorite things to say is together we can. And this is going to be a huge team we're going to put together. And I hope you carry it with you. It's awesome to make a great day for yourself, but it's even better when you make a great day for other people. We're giving people an opportunity. They are going to change lives. They are going to lift communities. They are going to bring hope where there was none before. But hear me now. We need you. We need your creativity. We need your joy. We need your commitment. We need your commitment to service. We need your excitement. We need that good old fashioned lion heart that never stops beating, continues to believe in the power of the things that we can do. So we're going to show folks. We're going to show folks all over the world this is something that we're setting our mind to and we're going to make it happen. So what do you say? Are you guys with us? Do you think we can do it? Put it in the chat box if you think you can do it. Frankly, I think we're all nuts, but I know we're going to be able to get it done because we're going to believe in it. If you're ready to light that fire, we can just start a wave that runs across the country and it's going to, I see it now. When I'm out there looking at visitations, we're seeing districts who are starting up clubs that have never done it before. I feel it, and I hope you guys feel it as well. This is going to happen because Lions of the USA, when we come together, when we learn, when we lean in with our hearts and we hustle, we're going to get it done together. So let's roll. We got a number of things going on here tonight. So Jody put on the screen, we have a QR code here. And this is if you believe in it. So let's get started here. We've got a big challenge in front of us, 100 clubs in 100 days. If we can double what we did last year, that gives us a better start than we've ever had before. That's bold. That's exciting. And that's going to take you to be able to do it. Now, one thing we really need to know right up front is how many of you are committed Lions do we have out there today? If you're sitting there thinking, you know what? I can build a team. I know a community that's ready. I can help launch a new club in the first 100 days. Then this is your moment. We're not asking you to move mountains. We're just asking you to raise your hand and say, I am in. So here's how we're going to do it. Simple and easy. Scan that code you see on the screen. This is your commitment. I know that those who fill out this form are going to give their best for the 100 days. They're going to give their best all year long to help start up clubs. That's your contract with yourself. That's your contract with all of us. And you're going to give it your best shot. And hey, let's be honest. If you don't make it, no worries. We're not going to kick you out of Lions. We're not going to make you go over and join the Rotary Club. We're just going to keep loving you and cheering you on because this is about effort. This is about passion. This is about trying something different to be bold together. So go ahead, scan that code in. We're going to ask for your name. We're going to ask for your district. We're going to ask for how many clubs you think that you can do. How many do you think we're really going to get done? That's going to give us a good shot. We've invited over 400 people to this event. If we can get 25, if we can get 200 commitments, 300 commitments to shoot it in that first 100 days, and if we get 25% of them and the rest will come later on, awesome. Could not ask for anything more. So
hey, Brian, guess what?
What,
Brian,
Jody?
before we started the call, we had 20 clubs committed. Since you have been talking, we've had we are now up 13 more clubs. We're up to 33 clubs committed, and it's changing and updating as we go along. Oh my God, we're up to 38. You guys are awesome. We can do this. One club at a time, one community at a time, one group at a time. Keep it going.
That excites me, Jody. And people are skepticizing that we can't do this in the United States. We've never done it before. We're going to, with the help of all the GAT area leaders are awesome. Everybody on this call is awesome. So for those that are bold enough to step up and actually start a club, we've got something special for you. We're not just going to say thank you. No, we're going to honor you. Jody, bring up the picture of the coins that we're going to give away. If you help launch a new club, you're going to receive a very special Lions USA Challenge coin. First one ever, you guys. Something you can't buy. You can only earn this coin. And here's how it's going to work. We're going to have a bronze coin for the first new club that you start. We're going to have a silver coin when you start your second club. For your third club, we're going to have a gold coin. If you start fourth club, I'll give you a kiss. I'll give you a big old kiss, so fair warning, pucker up. Or maybe you want to start another club just not to get the kiss. That might be even better yet. But seriously, though, these coins are beautiful. They're going to look amazing on your award shelf. And more importantly, they represent leadership. They represent action. They represent heart. So who wants one? This is going to be a great thing to have. So whoever is the extension person on the forums will give coins to these. Who really is ready to make a difference? Collect a little bit of bling. We all like a little bit of bling and have a little bit of fun doing it. So let's do that together. We're going to make a great day when we do that. So now, as if that challenge coin isn't enough to get you fired up, let me tell you about some more recognition that just happens to be out there that's going to come your way as well. And it's a big deal. I know we're not in this for recognition. It's not something we want. We want it for the joy of building our organization, to share that joy of being a Lion. But our incoming international president, AP Singh, he is launching his own quick start challenge, which coincides somewhat with ours. So we're going to be able to knock off these things simultaneously. And guess what? What we're doing right here, starting clubs in the first 100 days, fits perfectly into that. So now, not only are you owning and earning that Lions USA Challenge coin, you're also putting your name, you're putting your district in line for some serious international recognition. This is your chance to stand out. This is your chance to stand out across the world in front of an international crowd. This is your chance to help your district shine. And this is your chance to say, we got off to a fast start and we're not looking back. We're going to continue to grow. We're going to have more incentive, more recognition, more reasons to take that leap and say, yes, I'm going to help build something new. So let's turn this quick start into a legacy launch. Let's steal back our power we had in C1. Let's steal our future back right now. There's no need in waiting and continuing to do what we've always said we're going to do. So AP Singh, President-elect Singh, if you get 25% of your new club target. So if you had 4 clubs that the goal for the district is, if your district goal is 4 clubs in the year, if you start 1 club up before July 13th, he's going to bring your governor-elect, he's going to bring you guys across the stage in Orlando. And let's not have the other constitutional areas hugging that stage. Let's ourselves grab as much of that stage as we can. So let's get that 100 Club Challenge off to a start. Help your district get up on that stage. So most clubs in your district, if you say you want to start 1 club, do it before July 13th. That's going to give us great momentum for the next items that we got to do too. He's also, in addition to that, in order to get this quick start going, we're going to have forum recognitions. And for the forum, if you form at least 1 club and you recruit a certain percentage of the overall target of your area, say that you wanted to get 3 clubs, that's 60 members, and you wanted to be at a plus 40, that would be 100 members. That is your goal for the year. If you could start a club up, which would be 20 members, that'd be 20% of your goal. He'll give you recognition at the forum as well. So if you get 20% of whatever your overall membership is, new clubs, new members added together, will get you that recognition at the forum. Not only that, you're going to have recruitment awards too. A lot of the international presidents' medals, recognitions, certificates. is going to be based on mission 1.5. And it should be, because we've got 2 years left to be able to hit our goals and make a difference. That's the way we got to be able to make that difference. So if you achieve 25% of your overall goal by adding clubs or adding membership, that's going to get you the recognition medals that you want for your district. So help your governor out. Help your district governor team out. Help your GAT team out. Help your district out by achieving these milestones. If you get 25% of your goal, that's going to give you a couple of medals. If you reach 75% of the goals, that's going to give you a couple more. If you reach 100% of your goals, that's going to give you more yet. So that's how he's going to be basing a lot of his recognition coming up. So enough of me. I'm done with this. I'm excited. I need to calm down just a little bit. I'm going to sit back in the background here. I'm going to take a couple of big breaths in order to be able to move forward. So who we have here, we have Denise Laudenbach. She's the current district governor of 5M9, and I'm telling you, she has got 5M9 on fire and is doing an absolute wonderful job. Denise, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you guys are doing, will you?
I would love to do that. Thank you so much for having me, and happy Wednesday, everybody. Well, you know, Brian, your energy is like screaming through my screen. And the big thing that Brian just was sharing with us, it really is all about having fun. There's great awards and things going on, but if you don't have fun along the way, it doesn't matter. So I got to start out with doing some bubbles. I love bubbles and I love having fun. So I'm from 5M9. I'm in Minnesota, and I am the district governor this year for our fantastic 5M9 district, and also blessed enough to be the council chair elect. So going to be able to help our multiple as much as I possibly can in achieving these goals. So the success that we've had this last year truly starts out with reflecting on the past. And what I mean by that is we began as a GAT team, and we identified what worked well last year in building new teams. Last year, we built new clubs. Last year, we built one new club. So as a GAT team, we got together and we talked about what went well in building that club. And if we had to do it over again, what would we do different? And we looked at data and historical information. We looked at a 5-year trend of the dynamics of our district, so that we knew honestly where we had skinned our knees, and that we could identify and work some strategy around where we skinned our knees to improve, and then enhancing what we did really well. I hope I'm making sense so far, because it's interesting. I'm talking to my own screen. It's kind of funny. The next thing, and Jody, if you can, there you go. So we reflected on the past, and we built an awesome GAT team, and we did all of our work together as a team. No one worked in silos. So the next thing that we did was that we put in 4 core principles, and everything that we did as a G team centered around our 4 core principles. And that first principle was meaningful, and is what we were doing as leaders in our district, meaningful to our members, but meaningful in building new clubs. Was it meaningful to a community? The next of the 4 core principles is relevant. Building a new club in a community, is it relevant to that community? Not that we're just plucking something out of the air and pulling it from our backside thinking, oh, this sounds fun. Hey, my cousin lives in this community. Maybe I'll go there. But if it's not relevant to a community or to a group of people to build a new club, then it wasn't necessarily on the top of our priority list. The third of the 4 core principles is inclusive, and is what we're doing in building new clubs inclusive of everyone in the community? Are we being welcoming and diverse? And then, of course, you guys, I don't know if you can guess what that 4th core principle is, but It's 3 letters and it stands for fun. If it's not fun, then we're not going to do it. And in fact, as we looked at targets and where we were going to run as a team and helping build these clubs and communities, if it didn't hit those 4 categories of our core principles, then we just didn't do it. And we looked in and went in a different direction. So not only in building clubs with those 4 core principles, but it was a foundation of our approach to our membership, because building new clubs is one thing, but retention is another, and both are extremely important. So you have to be able to look at both sides of the coin. No pun intended, Brian. So the next step that we did was we built a shared message. We built and when I say we, the GAT team, so as you continue to hear me say we over the next few minutes, it means the G team. We built a core message that everyone spoke, every leader on our team, on our cabinet, spoke that same message, and everyone was given talking points. And we practiced and we became comfortable with the message so that no matter who was out talking to communities, talking to people and organizations of starting a new club or in our existing clubs, the messaging was consistent. So, and we had all had those talking points. So that was really important. The next piece that we did was we targeted the right markets. This is the huge core of what we did. And one of the big things that we did is we shifted our focus on traditional building clubs in a community. And it really stemmed from when I was at the summit last year and in Chicago, and Daniel Elkins was at the front of the room and he started talking about 501c3s. And the light bulb went off for me, and I was listening to the impact that a nonprofit would be able to find value in having a Lions Club associated with their nonprofit. I excused myself from the room. I went out in the hallway. I said, sorry, I got to make a call. I had met someone a few months prior in our community who they had put a 501c3 organization together with the foundation of anti-bullying. And she and her family popped into my head. I went out in the hall. I called Joanne and I said, Joanne, it's Denise. I have an idea of how I think we as Lions can help benefit the message that your organization and the impact that your organization wants to do. I need to meet with you. I'm home in 2 days. Can you meet Monday at 9 o'clock? And she said yes. And we started a new club. They started with 50 members of their club. And I didn't do this by myself. Our GAT team and our GET leader, Jay Norby, was an integral part of making this happen. And they are off and running. They've been extremely successful. They started, like I said, with 50 new members out of the gate because they already had in their nucleus of their nonprofit, they had people that wanted to help and wanted to carry this message of anti-bullying. So I took a look at then how did we be successful with that, and looked at this coming year. And I actually went on to the IRS website and I put in 8 counties that represent our district, and I put in nonprofits, and there's over 1,600 nonprofits, 501c3s within the 8 counties of our district. So that's part of the action plan for the GET team, to be able to weed through those and prioritize what makes sense, and because they're not all going to make sense. But I can tell you that within our water tower of our community, I live in Brainerd, Minnesota, in a 30-mile radius of that water tower, we have over 600 501c3s. So let's just say every one of those would be viable. But Lions clubs that are already in existence, financially, we can probably only support maybe 5 or 6 of those existing 501c3s, right? So, and there's 65 clubs in our district. So what's going to happen with the other couple of or there's sorry, not in our community, we have 8 clubs in our surrounding area. And so what's going to happen to the other 2 or 300 nonprofits that don't have a Lions Club to help? Well, maybe they can come up with their own channel of a Lions Club. So the next thing that I did, and we did in our district, was leverage relationships. And back in the day, I called this daisy chain, because it's a friend. Who do you know? You leverage your friends, and you think of a daisy, and you've got that core nucleus of the center of a flower, but each one has a petal coming off that nucleus. And so, who do we know, and how can we leverage those relationships and continuing that daisy chain of getting to the right people and getting to the movers and shakers in the community? The mover and shaker doesn't have to go build a club with you, but it would be great if they did. But they just need to introduce you to other people in the community if you're going in somewhere that you don't know someone. So applying that daisy chain approach is successful. And then, of course, the last one of the last pieces is the power of teamwork. Our success this year wasn't about one individual person on our G team doing the work. Everyone had the responsibility on the team, and we leveraged people's core competencies and plugged and played them where we needed to get things done. We had our marketing team help us with messaging if we needed some messaging created. We have our district marketing team do that. I tell you, Jay Norby is the backbone of getting stuff done in the system for us. He knows what needs to get done to get the new clubs in the system and get that paperwork correct, and how do we get the EIN number, and he's a rock star with that. And so and the other thing that's so important is communication. I tell you what, our G team probably talked to each other at least once a week. And sometimes we talk to each other every day, depending on what was going on. So teamwork is key. So the key takeaways, you guys, for this is start with that playbook. Start with working with your team and figure out where you're going to run, figure out where you skinned your knees, and put that playbook together, learn from the past, and build off those wins. Use clear and consistent messaging that everyone on your team is speaking from the same playbook. Identify target markets. Maybe 501c3s are a new thing for us as an organization to look at. And then leverage relationships that are already out there. I think that we're pretty excited. We did just start a new club in the last couple of weeks, and it's a PTO. And I think that might be with what's going on in the world and in schools and everyone needing help. And I think that Lions clubs can certainly be an opportunity for us in that avenue too. So that's what I have. It's been a hoot, and I'm looking forward to being the GET for our district in this upcoming year.
Denise, you've done a wonderful job. You have certainly had a wonderful year, and it's all because of the team, like you said. It's grateful you're throwing those silos away. You're bringing everybody on deck. Now, I also know you're more than 100 new members so far this year, aren't you? You're in the positive.
We're in the positive. We're not quite to 100, but we're definitely close.
We got plenty of time left.
We sure do. We sure do.
Awesome. And
We're
now,
at 97.
if anybody has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. One question, Denise, was, will you share your talking points with the group here?
Absolutely. Yes.
Good. There are so many different ways that we can start clubs up, you guys. Denise just gave you a number of ones that they can do. And again, they're lighting their district on fire. And that's what we got to do. We're relearning what we got to do. So with that, now, Now, Denise will be in a breakout session here pretty soon. So if you have additional questions, go into that room. You can bounce in and out of the rooms, but go into there and ask her some more questions on how she does it, any ideas, pick her brain and what she needs to do. She's going to be awesome. So next up, we have Randy. We have Randy out of Wisconsin. Randy, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little about it. Tell us about your excitement in your district.
Yeah, sounds great. Well, again, my name is Randi McVinnie. I'm a first vice district governor elect for MD 27E2. So I'm located in northwestern Wisconsin. I've only been a Lion about 5 years, so I still have a lot to learn. But I wanted to dive in really, really big and make a big splash. Over the last couple of months, um, there's a lot of things that happened in my club, my home club that I started in. I've always had heard from everybody, all these horror stories of, oh, this club wasn't welcoming, or this member said something rude to this person, or, we can't get out of our old ways of doing things. And I just sat back and I just said, there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be a better way to do this. As a business owner, I think you're forced to learn how to solve problems. And I think you're really, really good at coming up with resources and solutions for those problems. And so once I started looking at Lions Club like it was a business and running it like I do our businesses that are successful, it became a lot easier to grow it and to be able to inspire others to be part of it as well. Jody, because I am in my car, my daughter's at cheer practice, would you be able to do my slides for me? Thank you. So when I go out to talk to new people about being a Lion, um, or inviting them to a meeting or whatever it may be, I get three questions. The three questions are: when do you meet? Where do you meet? And how long are your meetings? I learned something really quickly, that if I only got somebody to say, kind of to get the buy-in on one of those items or two of those items, it was never going to work, right? This is like a long-term relationship or a marriage, let's say. I needed somebody to say yes to all three things. In our traditional model of clubs, it was really hard to find people with busy lives and young families that could say yes to all three. They're busy with kids' sports, they're busy with other commitments they have, other service organizations, church, running kids around, whatever that may be, and time is of the essence. I know it's something we talk about often is when COVID happened, the world shut down, we all had this free time back, and we all swore that we would never go back to these crazy busy lives that we had before it. I don't know about you guys, but I feel busier than ever. Much, much busier. And my calendar definitely can prove that. So I had to come up with a solution to solve these three problems. So I sat back and I thought about what makes the perfect club. So what were the barriers? What were the barriers? What was the reason people were saying no to me? So one thing was flexibility. The people that I was talking to about becoming a Lion wanted to have the ability to come when it worked for them and have an alternative option when it didn't work for them. They wanted to be accommodable. They wanted to make sure they didn't necessarily have to get a babysitter or call grandma or send the kids to the neighbors, and be able to have something that was family friendly and approachable. And the last part was that they wanted something that was transformable. So they wanted something that was going to grow with them as they grew personally and professionally. So it was something, those were the three things that I took, kept in mind as we were building the new club model and what needed to happen. And everything that we did, if it didn't check all three of those boxes, it was something we didn't do in the new club model. So as we got to thinking about this and thinking about how we're doing other things, whether it's the Burmeister bar or it's all the things that happened during COVID when us Lions got really, really creative about how to stay together and how to still move the needle forward with doing great work in our communities, I looked at what does a hybrid club really have to offer families or people like me. So going back to those questions, so when do they meet? Well, we meet one time a month. We meet for 1 hour and we know exactly what we're meeting about. Um, we have a hybrid option. So if it's a busy night or something changes at work or in your home life, you can hop on Zoom. No pressure to come to the meeting in person. And they're only 1 hour. We're very respectful of starting on time and we're very respectful of ending on time. We understand that everyone has busy lives and has things outside of Lions as well. And setting that clear expectation and holding to that has built trust not only in the club, but outside of it as well. going back to running the business like a business. For those of you that are business owners and Lions, this is going to be things you've heard before. They're old adages of sayings in business ownership. So I don't know about you guys, but I've been in plenty of meetings over the years, both for professional purposes and personal ones, that could have been an email, right? How often do we sit there for an hour, we listen to somebody talk, and we're like, oh, that could have been an email. I had a million things to do outside of sitting in this meeting. So we knew that we wanted to be super intentful in everything that we did. We also know that we in a business have strategic planning. And it's going back to what Denise said, we don't know where we're going to go if we don't know where we've been, and making sure we have a plan of how to get there. It's setting those clear expectations, and it's creating with your new club core values. So we talked about the Lions mission statement, but we created our own affirmation statement in our club with our leadership. And we say it at the beginning of every meeting. We all say it out loud, and we do that as just a form of us coming together and remembering why we're here. And I miss almost rejuvenating kind of our purpose of what we're all there for that evening. And then hire slow, fire fast. It's something we talk about in the business world all the time, but it's making sure when we bring new Lions in that it's a good fit for them. Asking the right questions, making sure that they understand what's going to be expected of them. They understand what they're signing up for. I'm gonna be honest with you. When I signed up for Lions Club, all I knew is that our club did a golf outing and we drank at our meetings at the local tavern, the watering hole. That is all I knew about what my club did in the community. As I got into the club, I learned 100 other things, right? We know that Lions are the best kept secrets, but let's work on making that not the case. But again, the hire slow, fire fast mentality is just doing the work on the front end so you don't have to do the work on the back end to retain them or beg them to stay or have the loss of members. The next thing is aces in their places. So something that I used that was awesome when I went out to grow our club, and I knew we had to get 20 members really, really quickly to get this done. I went out because I had a lot of relationships in our business community, and I started just going door to door to small businesses that I knew had the same pain points I did with employees. They had employees that didn't feel motivated. They didn't feel that they were recognized for the things that they were doing in their jobs, and they wanted to be heard. So I looked at those three things and I went into local businesses. And if there's one thing you guys write down or take away from my entire presentation today, this is it. So I walked in to any business. It doesn't matter what industry it's in, it doesn't matter who it is. I got the business owner or the manager and I asked for them, usually got somebody pretty quickly. They weren't always mostly thrilled to see me there because they thought I was going to sell them something. But I went up to them and I said, "Hey, my name is Randy. I'm with our local Lions Club. Do you know what we do?" Sometimes people would have an answer. They'd say, "Oh, you guys do the parade in town, or you guys do the cookout, or you guys do the fishing contest." But I was like, "Yep, we do all those things." But you know what I love most about Lions is that we create great employees in the workplace and even better humans outside of it. Do you have any employees that come to mind that would love to be part of something like this? Every single business I went to, they either grabbed an employee, they got out their phone, they started giving me names and numbers, and just I would get 2 to 3 from every business. They loved it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, I have 3 employees I'm trying to groom that could use some leadership skills, but they don't have time to do it during the workday. We have a couple employees that want to be a manager one day, but they're not quite ready and could use some strategic planning skills." And I'm like, "Hey, Lions Club can offer you that for free, no expense to you to the business owner, and we can create great humans in our communities. Does that sound like you want to be a part of?" Absolutely. And I had over 50 members in about 2.5 weeks, just going door knocking at cold businesses, asking that one question. So if you guys are getting the answers that you want, you're asking the question wrong. And so, like I said, if that's the one thing that you guys take away from today, that is it. And I will put that all in the chat, and I will make sure Jody shares that with you guys as well. But this approach is a bold forward step in Lionism. It's very different than we've looked at it in the past. I think not only Lions, but Rotary, all the other clubs that are out there, Optimists, they were there for fraternal purposes and brotherhood. And I think that's still a big part of Lionism. But I think this new generation of Lions and people my age that are working, that are balancing kids, busy families, 2 income households, juggling life, they want to know what they're signing up for. And we need to be clear about that. So like I said, we formed our club with over 40 members in 131 days. And trust me, I didn't do this alone. It took work from the top and it took work from people underneath me as well. It took work from having great guiding lions, tapping into people that I've met at forum, tapping into people that have seen out in the district. I've seen at a COG meeting that really impressed me, and picking up the phone and calling them and say, I need your help. Here's my plan. Can you help me? And not one person said no. Everyone wanted to help any way they could. So I used collaboration. I learned from those that knew way more than I did. Like I said, I've only been a Lion a couple years, and I know I have a whole lot more to learn. And I tapped into the people that knew a lot more than I did, and it helped me lay the foundation for a club that could build trust quickly with employers in the area, and also new members were attracted to. And I want to tell you guys, it can be done. We've done it here in Wisconsin. We're a very small city. The city that our club is in, Altoona, Wisconsin, it's 2,000 people. And we got over 50 members in 131 days. It's all about how you approach it. So I just want to close with, when passionate people unite behind a shared purpose, incredible things can happen. So thank you guys for letting me share today. And I'm excited to be in a breakout session to answer any further questions you guys may have.
Randy, that was awesome. A comment from the crowd, love it. These two speakers are spot on, and you are. I love your efficiency. I love the approach that you've done to be able to do this. Your efficiency is great, being able to rejuvenate. It's awesome. And it's just another approach that we need to be able to get this done. And it's, tell me, Randy, it's not about the numbers, is it? I love what you said, that you got to hire slow and fire fast. It's about the member, isn't it? It is. It's not always about the number. That's awesome. Thank you, Randy. Thank you, Denise. If you've got some questions, put them in the chat box. But we're going to go up into some breakout rooms now. And you're going to have an opportunity to get into Denise's breakout room. She's going to talk about Denise team approach. Randy's going to talk about emerging leader approach. We have Daniel Elkin's going to talk about asset-based community development approach. And then we'll have a panel, which is just the main room here, general club growth with questions and answers. So we're going to allow you to be able to choose your room. Keep your questions brief so that we get an opportunity that we can ask them as many questions and their opinions as we can. And Denise and Randy and Daniel, when you come back too, we just want to hear of a few of your highlights of the questions that came up, things that you really think pertain to everybody, and how we can get these clubs started up. And I want you guys to share too. How do we start these clubs up? How do we get up to 100? Tell them what's good. Tell them what you've tried. Tell them what's been successful. Tell them what you haven't been successful. So let's go ahead and be able to choose the breakout rooms. Jody will, I believe, will put something up on the screen so that you can pick which room you want to be able to go into. And
So
again, I applaud these speakers tonight too. They're fabulous with different ways to do different things.
So Brian, we're going to open the rooms. You're going to have 30 minutes in those breakout rooms, as Brian said. For those of you, will have an option show up on your screen to pick a room. And the rooms are labeled by the person's name and the topic. So Denise's team, Randy is emerging leader, and Daniel is asset-based community development. If you cannot find the button, just hang out with us in the main room. No big deal. We're here to answer questions as well on just general questions about club growth. And any questions you have that try to stump our panel. We got Sheehan here, we got Mark Lyon, we got Vannett, we got a whole bunch of people here for you to stump. So I'm going to open the rooms, pick a room, and we'll see you back in 30. You should see an option on your screen right now to be able to join one of the rooms. And I need our panelists to join your room because I am not putting you there. So Denise and Randy and Daniel, see you later, guys.
Just I can see it.
If you scroll down towards the bottom, that's how you can join your rooms.
It looks like Denise, I'm going to try and send you off so we can get you into your room. Assigned to the Denise team. I think we got Randy off, so they're able to start. I'm going to bring Pat and I'm going to bring Mark onto the screen here as well for spotlight questions here. For those of you who are still hanging out in this room, is it because you just can't wait to hear words of wisdom from these three amazing humans? Or do you want to go somewhere else?
I
If you
don't know
want
how
to
to
go
get out of
somewhere
this
else,
room.
they can't, you're locked in this room forever. It's like Hotel California.
It's an escape room. They have to figure it out.
There you go. To escape this room, if you scroll down on your screen, you should be able to see an option to join any of the rooms. If not, you are going to remain muted in this room. So if you want to ask your questions in the chat, that would be fantastic. I think I loved that Tracy added earlier, and I'm going to add it in here now for those of you who are here. And while we're waiting for questions to come in, I'm just going to add in, Tracy had posted in the chat earlier about the membership division grant applications are now available online. These are so important for you to get in early and I shouldn't say early and often, but early, right?
Yeah.
So the sooner your team can get your application in for a specialty club workshop, New Voices Symposium, or membership development grants, the faster you get that money in hand and you can start working your plan. So I dropped those in the chat again. So those are here. Questions. You guys can't be this quiet. Honestly, I know better than this. No questions? You're just hanging out with us today?
Well, and we've got some questions for you too. How do we how do we keep people fired up? You know, we got to have fun in doing the things that we're doing, but we know we have Zoom fatigue. We know we have different things that we just have to get accomplished. We have to accomplish our goals. I'd be interested in you guys. How do we stop some of that stuff, or how do we keep the momentum going all year long? I'll give you my opinion once I hear some.
I think Denise gave us some great ideas on that, didn't she? I mean, once they got it started, it just seems to keep going.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Jody. I think, once a club or a district or an individual gets a new club chartered, the momentum just builds from there. It's the hardest one is the first one. There's no question about that. But there are so many great ideas out there for district-wide clubs, I should say, for communities that have lost a Lions Club in the past. We know that the need for service doesn't go away. So those are perfect areas to get back into. And we're looking at our district governor teams and our GAT teams to look for those unidentified areas to get back into and to form a small team to make that approach to the local business people, local police, first responders, that kind of groups, just to get the momentum going on what's possible in their community once again.
I agree, Mark. You know, we have lost 170 clubs this year. Communities don't have clubs. There's a start.
Yeah.
Last year, how many clubs did your district lose? Maybe it's a neighboring town. You know, there's really great opportunities. There's also different ways of thinking about how we are as clubs. We recently chartered a diabetes champions club made up of diabetes professionals, doctors, and people who work in the field, because they want to give more time to the families of people with diabetes. And what a great cause, right?
Yeah. You know, in my travels, we talk a lot about clubs that have an impact on a district-wide basis. And there are so many possibilities for district-wide clubs. We talk about the important needs of what Lions are doing to serve, and we talk about disaster preparedness clubs as an example. You know, everybody remembers the alert programs and how important that was in our communities to be ready in case there are incidents or events or weather events that impact the community. And I personally think that it's really important for every district to focus on creating a disaster preparedness type of club. That's their mission, that's their purpose, and that's their service to be ready in case there's a call for disaster relief. Bruce, you got a question?
Well, I have one in the chat for you before we get Bruce up. Barbara is asking, how do you restart a club in a town that lost their club years ago?
Can I take a crack at that once?
Yeah.
Because there's so many communities we have out there that do not have a club in it. And one thing that is being pushed lately is a service carnival. And I think it's great if you could get an entire zone involved in going and starting up that club in a community that has nobody there. I think if you could take each club in that zone, it's just as an example, you could run this 100 different ways. But if you could take each club in the zone and say, one club, who wants to be responsible for screening eyes? Another one, who wants to be responsible for reading books to kids in the library? Another one, who wants to be responsible to do a community cleanup? Who wants to be responsible to do diabetes education? Go there and have a carnival for the day and show all the great things and all the global causes that Lions do. Then you have that whole area involved with the special decision that we're going to start a club up before we leave. We're going to get names, we're going to get numbers, we're going to get people saying, look what you are missing in your community. We're here to back each other up and look at the support you have from your surrounding communities to try and get them going.
Yeah.
Mark
We
or
heard some
Pat,
great,
I'm open to other ideas there.
yeah, we heard some great advice from Denise about partnering, looking for organizations that are looking for the types of benefits that only Lions can offer. You know, and the simple things are out there. Event insurance, you know, is a great benefit for an organization that doesn't have access to that, like we do as Lions. Leadership development training. Great opportunities for that. Getting involved in Lions Quest. You think of groups in your communities of young moms that are looking for access to additional ways to work with their children and to be together in a community. And the Lions Quest program is a brilliant way to do that. We have clubs that are focused only on single purpose. You know, we have clubs that are focusing on eye screening, you know, with the Kids Site program and getting in there and doing eye screenings in their community. There are so many opportunities out there, and you know, the sky's the limit, right, Pat?
Oh, absolutely. Whatever cause there might be around, someone is trying to make an impact. And as Lions, we have so many resources to help them make that impact, right? Mental health is
Oh
so
my gosh,
important.
yeah.
In the simple things that we can do.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe there's a club who wants to really, a group of people who are already focusing on that, but they need a boost. And Lions has so many opportunities to help them, right? We can help them by asking them to join us.
You know, Jody just put up in the chat box about Map to Grow, which is in the Lions virtual site. You know, some great resources on looking deeper into your communities to find out what organizations are already there. Who can we connect to? What benefits, again, do we offer to them that they don't have that they're looking for to make them even stronger? And by the way, to increase our own membership through those connections that we can build. It doesn't matter how big or small your community is. You know, just Brian lives in a very small community of Bird Island, and we all know where the hell is Bird Island. But you know, many of us are looking at cities, at urban areas, and that's one of the big challenges we have as Lions is to try to solve this urban strategy. We know that cities have tremendous needs that Lions can address. And we have to look at that a little bit more and see where we can offer those opportunities to charter new clubs that are focused on specific issues that are unique to the urban communities.
Hey, Mark, can I just jump in there on that? Because solving the challenge of urban clubs has been high on my list of priorities for the 30 plus years I've been a member, because that's what I come from, is an urban club. And, you know, I really think the key to it is we need to break that community down into smaller neighborhoods. We are, what are large cities, but small neighborhoods all mashed together in a small area, geographic area. So if you focus on a community, a neighborhood, on a community center, on a library, you focus on a specific area, you don't have to be everything to everybody. You're focusing on the needs in a specific geographic area, and you have a lot more opportunity for success.
Absolutely, no question about it. And those resources available. You know, when we were playing around with AI and Chat GPT and looking at the opportunities to put in just some very basic information about an urban area, and tell me what other organizations are there. What are the community groups that are already established? And they're ethnic groups, they're professional groups, they're faith-based groups. It doesn't matter. They're all looking for something, and they're all looking for something that I think Lions have a unique gift to offer back to them.
So I want to thank Jody, put that link in the chat. So everyone, it's there at lionsvirtual.org for several apps that will help you.
There's another question in the chat from David, and it's how do I keep the membership growth going in a virtual club?
Yeah.
We're a specialty club because we are blind and visually impaired.
You know, that's a unique challenge right unto itself. It's great to have a virtual club with that kind of a demographic, that kind of a focus. It's so important and so aligned with who we are as Lions. And you know, and I applaud that group for keeping that group going. But it is a challenge in this day and age to keep the momentum going. There are lots of things that we can talk about, but Lions clubs are service oriented, we're action oriented. So we want to get those clubs that are virtual to also have that sidebar uh, action plan to be able for those who are able to physically able to get out and do service projects to go out and do things in their community, to share that with the rest of the membership, and to find new ways for the other members who may not be able to get out there and do things physically to participate in that service. And that could be communicating, sharing the story, writing things up, making the phone calls to the local community groups that they want to partner with. There's just so many ways to contribute to the success of that club.
And I think you got to keep the ones that you have there too. You got to find different ways to make the meetings innovative all the time,
Yeah.
Especially the virtual club, and find different ways and different ideas from everybody, getting everybody involved. But then you got to pick on the specialty of that club as well. Reach out and find more people who have that same interest. And they may not necessarily be blind or deaf, but they may have an interest in that because they know somebody or something that's happened in their life to be able to do that. So keep it interesting, keep it upbeat, keep it fun.
Beth Stevens gives this advice that her blind club recruits through low vision projects in the community.
Mm-hmm.
Great, Beth.
Yeah, many of our communities have low vision centers. I know here in my home state of Connecticut, each of our 3 districts has their own low vision center, and they do a lot of outreach to the community. And we want the clubs to reach back out to the low vision centers to help people with devices and other benefits that can help them to get by with whatever is challenging them at the time.
And I know here our blind and visually impaired group is the group that does the dinner
Mm-hmm.
for those of us who
Yep.
dining in the dark. They organize that, and of course they have friends and family who have vision to help them, and they are also Lions with them. So that's a way that they make a difference and make a big impact in not only raising some money, but also helping us understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great way to do it.
You know,
Part of this too.
Sorry, go ahead, Mark. I was just going to ask another question, so go ahead, Mark.
No, I was going to say part of this is the way we think about this is how we look at what service really means. And, you know, there are a lot of clubs out there that feel like they're not serving their community because they're doing small projects. They're not raising a lot of money for their charitable support. You know, they're just doing, you know, one small project every quarter of the year. And we have to convince and tell them that every act of service is so important. Every way they reach out to the community, every small or large, it's all really relevant, and we want them to celebrate those successes. I mean, just for doing that, they're making a big difference in their local communities. Not every club is able to raise tens of thousands of dollars in doing these huge projects, and that's okay. Some are going to be big, some are going to be small, but there's no act of service that's too small for Lions to be taking on.
Awesome. So I have a question for you guys, and this is one that's not in the chat, but it's one I hear all the time when we're working with our district leaders. Is how do we build a team for these extension efforts? Where do we find these Lions? How do we get them, and how do we get them involved? And I know that's part of what Denise was talking about, but I'd really love to hear from you 3. You guys have been around the block, as they say. So what do you got? What can you add to that for us?
If I might, it takes a special person to go out there and extend the club. And it takes a little bit of practice to be able to do that and the confidence to be able to do that. And I might ask Bruce Beck to chime in here a little bit because I know he's in Denise's district and they have multiple teams They have multiple teams going out there working on 2 or 3 simultaneously with having group leaders and teams that work together. You can't do it by yourself. I think the more people you get involved in a team and you assign them certain things to do in extending that club, because we all have different talents. Some are better at selling, some of them are better at organizing, but put people in a position to succeed. And that's what we have to be able to do.
Well, I can speak if you would like.
Please, Bruce. You guys do a wonderful job at the teams you have, the number of clubs you guys are starting up.
Well, and it is a team, and and it's a large team. And that is because not everyone can make it to a specific event on a specific night. And so we also take turns on the different roles, whether it be on organizing, the get together. We always do a service project hands-on the first organizational night. And so they can say, see, you've already done your first service project. What we build is a diabetes response kit. If somebody had a diabetic reaction, has everything you need right in the kit. When we're done, we tell them, take them, disperse them out in your community. You've done your first service project. But we take turns speaking in different areas. Some speak locally, what they do and what they accomplished and why they're excited about what their club does. I've traded off with the international director, Bert Nelson, when we give the broader overview, just so they know what it's a part of. We actually talk the least amount because the reason people join is to make an impact in their community, not the world picture. And so, but we always try to bring food, okay? One way or the other, whether you cater or whether you bring cookies. Another time it's cupcakes and lemonade. But if you have a snack, it helps. It's a good distraction. And we always have the membership flyers, and then we always take turns, like Denise gave Jay credit for logging in and registering, taking their money, because he gets them entered right away. We want to put in for the EIN number right away, because that takes the approval so we can get it down the line. But because we've done this together, we can fill in on a task if somebody isn't able to make it or not. And then there's the follow-up, which we do kick back to the GET or other team members. We don't take the whole team on follow-up. But we encourage those who were there and are excited. Okay, now you have an idea. You invite your friends, get them together, get them excited, and we're all going to come back together. And we bring additional people in with that. So that's usually our process.
Bruce, I have a follow-up question for you, because you guys obviously have such a great system. I'm guessing this didn't start overnight with a 30-person GET team or 24-person global extension team. Any advice that from what you've seen in this process on what you would recommend? What's the first step? What's our baby step to get there in a couple of years?
I started my year when I was on GMT way back when it was still Merlot, but the point was it was a Merlot team. It was a global membership team. A team is not one person. So in our district, whoever is a GMT, GLT, GST, they have to pick. If I was GMT, I handpick the people across our district who I know are going to work for me, and we're going to go out and we can work well together. The governor doesn't say you have to work with them, or, you get to pick your team and how you will work well together. And that's where it began. And we still have core teams of 4 for every GAP member. And then GET and GMT are extended beyond 4 for special events, organizational meetings, etc., canvassing, things like that.
That's awesome. So I'm going to move this to Pat, most likely, because she plays more in well, I'm sure Mark and Brian play in the system quite a bit as well in the portal. Pat, is there a way for people to find in the portal some potentials. If you don't know people in the district, if you're stepping up, if you don't know someone, or you're an incoming governor and you just don't have that connection, is there a way for them to find people who've been successful recruiters, club starters, anything? And I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I don't know the answer to this question. Sorry.
And that's a great question. We can get that from staff. And so your area leader in your district, or your district governor, or you yourself could ask staff for that information. Right now, that information is not available to every Lion or every GAT person, but and I guess I'm incorrect. Beth Stevens says she runs a new member list to see common recruiters.
She found a backdoor way to find that information.
Found it. I didn't find it. Way to go, Beth. So she has a new member list in your district. Now, if you're a district officer, you should be able to get that, right, Beth? And so then you can find that. Who are the common ones? Their recruiter will show up. That's how that works.
If you're a district who hasn't started a club up in 2 decades, it's like, where do you start? So look at people in your surrounding districts. This is like Lions of Oklahoma, Lions of Iowa, Lions of your area. And it could be Lions of Wisconsin coming into Minnesota and getting it done. And you can take a look at new club coordinators who have started clubs up in the past. People who've done it here, come in and let them teach you, but let them teach you so that you can then catch on and learn how to do it the next time.
Brian, that is such an important message to share. You know, we're going to share that at the GAT Summit coming up in Las Vegas later this month about, you know, we've got to get rid of these borders. We got to get rid of these boundaries. We got to find the best Lions who can help to form clubs, the best Lions who can help recruit individual members, the best Lions who understand how to work within their communities or to go into a community and canvas to get these new clubs started. It's not about, you know, who's the best one in MD whatever, and they have to stay in MD whatever. That doesn't work anymore. We've got to break through that habit and just get out there and look for people who can help us to make a difference in our communities.
And really, through the area meetings, every Lion on those calls is willing to help anybody all the time. It's a great way to meet other people in your general area, geographical area, and reach out. That really has been very helpful.
We've got about 6 minutes, a little over 6 minutes left in the breakout room, and I'm not seeing a lot of questions in the chat. So I'm going to ask of each of you. Oh, Bruce's hand is up. Bruce has apparently got a question.
I had a comment, and for all the DGEs or VDGs, you're going to make club visits. Many districts, they split them up between the VDGs and the governor. But my point is, typically a district will have 25% of their clubs have an anniversary, 5-year, 10-year, 25, 50, right? And they're all have, and often they invite the G team, all the suits to come help celebrate. This past year, I've done 8 to 10 anniversaries. And my point was, you congratulate, you celebrate, you have fun. And then at the end I say, and who are you going to sponsor for a new club? And they look and I said, but no. 50 years ago, other Lions thought enough to come to your town and look what's happened here. Now, you mean I can't look at this group of amazing people who are successful and you're not going to go help another community? And then you have the district GET go talk with them the next meeting.
Perfect.
Or
Awesome.
make it competitive. You want to be a rock star in your zone, like Brian said. Nobody started a club here in 10 or 20 years. You want bragging rights? You want to conquer the zone? Make it a zone-wide competition. Whether, you know, we get a free package from the casino for a weekend, right? Send that president and the whatever to the casino for a weekend. But friendly competition is healthy and it's fun.
I'm going to give you each 1 minute for this question, okay? And I'm going to turn on my timer because I know some of you are talkers. So, and think about this, guys. If you had one thing, only one thing, piece of information or tool or resource that would help get people from out talking to people and starting new clubs, what would it be? One thing, one tool or resource. And while you're doing your thinking, I'll give you half a second here to think because it's only fair. I would say it is a fired up G team that's out there promoting being great Lions and serving the community. That would be the one thing, period, end of story. Because if you're doing great service, your members are enjoying the service and it's worthwhile service to your community, we don't have this conversation about starting clubs. We don't have this membership challenge. So with that, I'm turning on my timer. Who wants to go first? Mark beat you to it. Go, Mark, go.
Yay. Because I'm probably going to steal what the other two are going to talk about too. Yeah. You know, and I want to go to this amazing resource called AI. I think in the last year, and let's go back to the GAT summits last summer, that we've learned with the benefit of people like Daniel Elkins and Winster Ceballos and many others, that we can't be afraid of using AI to do some research for ourselves. And it's all about the way we put the information into the system. It's the way we write the question. It's the way we write the request. And you can refine and refine till you're blue in the face, but it's so important to feel comfortable to ask the question. We know from our Lions that have been involved with AI for a longer period that it's learned about us in great detail. ChatGPT understands who Lions are. That's not a license to just live freely with whatever it comes up with. You still have to proof it. You still have to check the information that comes out of it. Am I done yet? No.
Yeah, you
No,
are.
I'm not done yet. No, but use AI, use it to your advantage, use it to learn about your communities.
Perfect.
I think one of the greatest resources is that line who sells the most raffle tickets. They know how to ask the question. They know a lot of people, and they're not afraid to ask. Get them on your team. Tell them what you need to, how you want to go about it, and they're going to get you members, and they're going to help you start a club.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, Sheehan, Pat took back some of the time from Mark, or gave you back some time.
Since AI was already taken, I'm going with team. I'm going with team. Team makes the whole thing happen. You got to have a plan, and you have to have a team together to get that plan. In that team, you're going to have a visionary. You're going to have a connector that's going to connect you up with people. You're going to have a doer that gets things done. You're going to have a cheerleader. You're going to have a mentor. You're going to have a novice person that you're going to train. But you get a team. It's not up to just the GMT person or the GET person. You get a team of anybody who wants to help make this district better.
Wow. So we've got AI, we've got raffle ticket. I love that idea, Pat. Find that person. Awesome. And Brian, you're back to team, man. I love it. Bruce, you got anything you want to add to this fun and games?
Honestly, is have a passion. When you talk with them, tell them what you're passionate about, but ask what their passion is, because if they're passionate, that's where they will serve. And when you find out what's important to them and their passion, that's when they will help you and join you.
I love it, Bruce, because that whole concept of passion and helping someone realize their vision or their dream is a gift that you don't get very often in this world. And that's what Lions do. They allow us all to serve the way we want to serve and make a difference the way we want to make a difference at home and across the globe. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are only 9 seconds left. It's shocking that we could keep this going for 30 minutes, guys, but great work. Thank you guys for sharing your wisdom. I hope the rest of you took some items away. Everyone else is coming back to join us. So I'm going to take you all off screen and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And Brian, it is coming back to you to bring us home, my friend. They are all coming back now. We're almost done. Looks like Daniel's group is the last. There's coming back slowly and surely. They should be here now, I think. All right, Brian, you're good to go.
All right. So we get down to, let's get this done. Let's get everybody involved. To have this goal, it's going to take everybody to create it. Again, you were invited here because you've done this before, or you have that heart, or you have that passion. You may not be on the GAT team, you may not be on the cabinet, but you're here because you've done it before, and we need you. We need you now more than ever. So we're going to ask you. You go out there, and it's about communication. We don't want to step on people's toes. We don't want to say, "What are you doing? You're not part of the GAT team." We're in this together. We throw away those boundaries, we throw away those silos, and we get done what we need to get done. So go ahead and contact your district global extension team person in your district and say, you're here. You want to help. You want to have part of a team that's going to go out there and do this as well. So just make sure we communicate with everybody, and let's get that goal done of being here for the first time. Let's also complete that club challenge commitment form. We'll put that icon back up there in a moment, but we want to know who's going to go out there, build a team to be able to build a club. We need to know how many of these people we can have. And man, if we could get 100, if we can get 200, if we get 300, you would make me feel so much better. We'd be able to sleep at night, but we know we can do it. We have a goal next year of 280 clubs. How awesome would it be if we could get that 100 done in that first quarter? Think where we could be. It'd be unbelievable. So we need you all to keep learning. Go out to Facebook, go to lionsusa.org, go to US Lions Rock on YouTube, on the YouTube channel. All these sessions are out there giving you ideas. It's about stealing people's ideas. And we just gave you a whole bunch of more ideas in order to be able to get this done. Be creative to be able to get these things done. Okay. So I want to give let's give a Pat, you want to give some closing comments, and we'll give it to Mark, and then I'll tie it up.
I just want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for everything that you have done and will continue to do as Lions. You're reaching more people than you even know every time you work with another person and help them reach and help their passion come alive, their service need come alive. Thank you. I know you can do this challenge. I believe in you.
Thank you for all you do, Pat. VP Mark.
You know, this is an amazing core group, and it's just the core group. This is the group that gets it all started. You are here because you've demonstrated the ability to bring in new members, to charter new clubs, and to focus on what's important with Lions, which is to create greater service opportunities with increased membership across the world. You know, we have a great opportunity here in the US to make a big difference, and we're going to do that. We're going to do it together. We're going to do it side by side. So let's make this happen. Let's meet this 100 club challenge. Let's do this as soon as we can, and then we're going to attack the next challenge that comes out to us. Brian, take it away.
We need to steal back our future. We have been very strong. We started up this organization in CA1. We've lost our way, and we've got to give it back. So, all right, my fellow Lions, as we bring this amazing session to a close, I want to take a moment right here, right now. Look around the Zoom, the fellowship of the squares here. That's what we used to call it in COVID days. Look at the fellowship of the squares that we have here of all the people. I want to say thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for bringing your passion, your wisdom, and your willingness to serve. And your heart. Your heart is huge. You didn't have to be here, but you are. You were invited because we believe in you. And after today, I hope you know just how much you matter to this mission, and how much you matter to this organization, and how much you matter to CA1. So there's a big question out there. How are we going to get this done? How are we going to start 100 clubs in 100 days? Let me tell you how. We're going to do it with the best resources we've ever had. And that's you. That's why we called you here. Each and every one of you. We will accomplish this goal with the most awesome Lions and leaders this organization has ever seen. That's not hype. That's truth. That's you. That's a fact, Jack. It's undisputable. We get it done with your energy. We get it done with your creativity. We get it done by showing up in your communities, not just as recruiters, but just with the passion of what we want to do and be able to share that joy of being a Lion. You're the planner. You're the grower. You're going to be that flame that ignites this torch. So let's lead with love. Let's serve with passion. And let's build like we've never done before. We have to. We don't have a choice. We're going to celebrate being positive at this time next year, and we're going to have a great party, and it's because of the entire team, the Lions of USA. So just want to say thank you to everybody, Jody, Mark, Pat, everybody that's on this call, Tracy, staff, everybody. We need everybody to do this, and we're going to celebrate. So thanks so much for coming here.
Hey,
And tell
Brian,
other people too. We're going to send this out to everybody that we have on our list.
Brian, two things before we hang up. Number one, the recording will be put out there. We're going to put it on the Lions USA YouTube channel for you, along with all the other resources there. Please go to that channel, like the channel. Some of you asked for resources, videos to share, things that you can use to fire your people up. You will find them there, along with inspiration to start clubs. The other piece that I just wanted to share very quickly is, guess what? I have the latest number on the number of commitments, clubs committed so far. It's at 70, you guys. We started at 20 before, and we're up to 70. You guys completely, totally rock, but that's not going to happen if we don't get out of these Fellowship of the Squares and get out there and start talking to people. So make your plan, work your plan, and celebrate the success with new clubs. Y'all got this. You're awesome. You rock. And back to you, Head Penguin.
There you go. So go ahead, scan this in. Let's make that commitment. Get a team together. Do it as a team. This is awesome. We cannot thank you all enough for the dedication and the passion that you all have. We're going to get it done. We're going to do things different like we've never done before. It is awesome. And that is a fact, Jack. We're going to make it happen. Thanks to all of you. You're all superheroes. Let's get that superhero mentality. Okay, that's going to be our theme for this year.
If you want to become a superhero, make your own avatar, go to lionsvirtual.org, and the button is at the top to get to the app. So it's kind of fun and addicting. Don't start if you don't have some time. You might spend a couple hours and all of a sudden it's gone.
Okay, I think we're going to do a superhero board. We're going to do a superhero board. Everybody who starts clubs up can do a superhero board.
Awesome. Is that it, guys?
That's all I got.
I got nothing.
Have fun.
Have a great night, everybody. Thank you so much.
Let's have fun making a difference.
Yes.
Thanks, everyone.
Good night, everyone.